man coach. I got young minds that'll lift up and ain't flying coach. I had a hard life and I ain't made it, and I ain't think that I was gonna make it. Incarcerated, but I still made it. If I can make it, I know I'll make it. Everybody try to count me out, everybody want a handout. Used to be part-time, but them plays ain't play out. Got a second chance to do it right. Man behind the helmet, wear it tight. A long way from the street life, and I serve God before I serve life. A lot of y'all real shooters, but I got real leaders. Help me bulletproof, I can show the proof. And y'all can make your moves, bet you can't make me move. Bet you can't make me break down, I don't fight to lose. Had to show my peers, I ain't had no fear. Player of the year, I made it top tier. Murphy gon' put y'all on, Murphy gon' put y'all on, that's for sure. Murphy gon' put y'all on, Murphy gon' put y'all on, that's for sure. Yeah, ball life ain't Murphy, I been this game way down Jersey. And this ain't got no purpose, but it bringing in my earnings. Had to get rid of my front yard, backyard, I ain't got time for service. Had to make it real urgent, that's for certain. Yeah, ball life ain't Murphy, I been this game way down Jersey. And this ain't got no purpose, but it bringing in my earnings. Had to get rid of my front yard, backyard, I ain't got time for service. Had to make it real urgent, that's for certain. Murphy gon' put y'all on, Murphy gon' put y'all on, that's for sure. Murphy gon' put y'all on, Murphy gon' put y'all on, that's for sure. Murphy gon' put y'all on, Murphy gon' put y'all on, that's for sure. Murphy gon' put y'all on, Murphy gon' put y'all on, that's for sure.
Welcome to the Frank D. Murphy Show. I'm your host, Frank D. Murphy, AKA Murph Time. And look, you're gonna wanna stay tuned in for what we're about to talk about today. It's juicy. The title is, how do you know if he or she really loves you? For real, for real. But before we go into that, I gotta holler at my girl, Kay. What's up, Kay? Over there in the locker room.
Hey, what's going on, Frank? How you
Okay,
doing?
okay. But you know what? We're gonna get right into it. So we're gonna get right into it. Ask me some questions. That's how we're gonna jump into this thing.
I have some good questions. Okay, so the first question I have for you is, does someone love you if they ask you to postpone your life for them? So if I put your career on hold for them.
Man, do someone love you? Hit me with that one more time.
So
'Cause that's strong.
does someone love you if they ask you to postpone your future, your life for them?
Well, my opinion, I think that got to be discussed at the very beginning. I think two people need to know the direction that they're going, because if they don't know the direction they're going, both of them gonna be, asking each other to stop doing something or start doing this. That's because they don't really know who they are yet.
Right.
They ain't really got into what they believe that they're called to do. So I believe it's incomplete. And when you incomplete, you're gonna get incomplete love, which means incomplete results. So my opinion is they need to know who they are before they sit down and get into love with the opposite sex.
Makes sense. Okay,
Yeah.
I got you. I got another question for you.
Oh, let's get it.
All
Let's
right.
get it.
So, what would you think what's the real reason for people getting in relationships and breaking up so quickly? I mean, these two-month relationships, 3-month relationships. What's up with that?
Well, I think that a lot of people, from my experience and what I see, is that a lot of people get bored. I think it's so many options. So when you have a lot of options, it's hard to stay focused on one relationship. So the more options you have, the more people and the more women or the more men you're gonna encounter. So you have to take away options. When you talk about real love, you got to sit down with yourself and say, I have no more options. If this is the person for me, I have no options. No matter how this person looks, no matter how nice this person is to me, no matter if you do that, I think it's something like the 80-20, the person you with 80%, then you go out and find the 20%, and there you go. You just gave up 80 for 20.
Right.
That don't sound right.
Right.
But that's what I would say about that.
Okay, so speaking of your 80-20,
Okay.
right, and that one person, do you believe that there is just one soulmate per person?
One soulmate? No, I definitely don't believe it's just one soulmate. I think it could be multiple soulmates, but at one time.
Okay.
Let me explain.
Okay.
Because when you meet someone, you can't control what that person does. That person can take a stupid pill and go out and cheat or something like that, then you don't want to be with them anymore. So that don't mean that it's over for you. That don't mean it's not another soulmate out there for you. I think now it requires you learning from this mistake and being patient and I think that other soulmate will come back around. But I do not believe it's just one soulmate for one person.
For the rest of your life.
Exactly.
Okay. So speaking of that, and speaking, like you said, someone can take a stupid pill and they can go off and cheat. Do you believe that if a person cheats on another person, that means that they don't love them?
That right there.
Isn't that's the question for
You know what? I think, is it love or lust? I think that's what we have to stop confusing. We confuse that a lot. We go, man, I really love her. No, you really lust after her. Or a woman may say, I really love him, but you need to ask yourself, do you lust after that man?
Right.
So I think you can make a mistake and still love a person.
Right. Okay.
So I believe that that's on the two people to try to fix if that's what they want to do, but you got to know if it's love or lust.
That's true. Okay. Got it. I have a question now that I think that has
You
nothing
coming
to
with it
do.
today.
Yeah.
You coming with
I
the
mean,
questions that I
just-
like
'cause,
it.
Well, love is just my thing.
You know what?
Love
I don't
love.
like it. I love it.
Okay, so the question for you is this. Can women and men have a legitimate friendship? It's just friendship. There's no sex, there's no love, there's nothing. We're just friends.
Just straight up friends. You know what? I believe you can, but I believe it's called balance. I believe now, when you go into a relationship, say you don't have a relationship and you got your best friend, but then when you go in a relationship and real love requires you to make changes. And if that change requires you to tell your friend that, hey, we're gonna have to back off, I'm in a relationship, because you only got so much time in a day.
That's true.
So you can't try to please a friend and please your love.
That's true.
So I think at the end of the day, you're gonna have to make some changes if you got a best friend and then now you want a relationship.
Right.
Love will cost you, it will cause you to make changes. And it'll cost you something.
Yeah.
The question is, will you pay it?
Oh.
Will you change it?
Oh.
That's all I'm trying to say.
You better go ahead.
I know, right?
Talk about a little bit over here. Got some experience.
I don't even say this. Don't be trying to throw me out there. Try to put me on there until I got some experience. But here we go, though. I thought about this. Your past love is what you've been through and what you have learned from your family members, your mom and your dad. Your present love is with yourself. And your future love is shared with someone else. So think about this. In your past love, if you believe everything that happened with your past love, everything that you've been taught from your parents or TV, you're going to take that into your present, and that's going to become you. But what if it's wrong?
That's so true.
And then you begin to love in your future wrong. Now your future love is shared with somebody else, but it's all messed up. So you can't bring your bad past love and bad past experience into your presence and destroy your future love. So you have to learn how to balance out and say, you know what, this happened to me, or I seen this from my mom or my dad or my family, and it was wrong. And if it was wrong, don't bring it into your presence, because then that's going to make you love like that. Then you're going to love in your future like that. So don't bring your past mistakes, past love into your presence and destroy your future love. That's just my take on it.
Okay.
Give me
Sound
another
like-
question, Kay. Give me
Kinda
another question. I see
sound
you biting at the bit. You
Yeah,
got something to say.
You sounded like the guru of love over here now. I don't know what's going on. Okay, but I got a question for you. How do you stop loving someone that you love genuinely? If you know the relationship is wrong, but you just are just in love, how do you stop?
You need to question yourself. If the relationship wrong, what are you probably loving something that you're missing. And you shouldn't be missing nothing. When you walk into a relationship, you want to be as complete as possible. You want to make sure that you have no gaps, no holes in there, no needy. You can't be a needy lover. Because now what you're going to do is try to hope they can replace what you need.
There you go.
And if they replace what you need, then you're going to that's a crutch. And we don't want you don't need to be in a relationship and that person is a crutch and don't even know it. So you have to make sure that you know how to love first, and you got to get yourself together first. So you're going to lean on that person and place a demand on them to love you a certain way that they're not capable of doing. And that's not their fault.
Right.
Because, it starts with knowing that you love yourself, knowing that somebody bigger than you love you, which I call my God, loves me. And if you don't know that, then you're going to put expectations on other people.
Right.
And that's not right, because they won't be able to meet them.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of God, Do you believe that in order to have a successful relationship, the person that you find this love with needs to be able to submit to the higher power?
I think if you're going to love somebody, both of y'all need to be able to submit to something other than yourself. When you submit to yourself, that's when selfishness get in there. That's when pride get in there. That's when you think you know everything. And now you're not sharing your whole self, you know, the true you. You're just sharing the selfishness part of you, the prideful part of you. So I believe you have to believe in something higher than yourself to love somebody correctly, all the way through and through. Sometimes we love somebody and we giving them 70% and they happy with it. Right. And that's okay because they never knew 100% before. Right. So if you never knew 100% of love, you may fall for 70%. And you may be like, for the rest of your life, getting 70% love. And it's okay if that's what works for you. I know for me, I want that whole thing. I want that whole 100%. I want all that. I want me.
Okay, I got another. I got one more. Being in a relationship, some people are in a relationship for long periods of time. Say you're in a relationship for 20 years.
Ooh.
20 years.
20 years.
How do you keep it fresh?
Ooh. You know, there's a lot of things that I can say about that, but I'm going to keep that off the screen. But I'm going to go into something that's really basic and common that I think if you get it, if you understand it, the word is called communication. You have to communicate and stop letting your love guess everything. Why would you make them guess when all you have to do is sit them down and communicate? I like this. I don't like that. Right. What do you think about this? Communication is always the key. And I think in a lot of parts of love or finding love or knowing somebody love you, you don't communicate because you busy trying to catch them instead of communicating.
There you go.
You're trying to catch them be wrong, catch them say things wrong instead of communicating. So let's communicate and let's stop trying to catch somebody.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Sums up my 20s.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have one more question for you. I know I said the last one was one more, but I have one more.
Oh, get me. Go ahead.
Do you believe love is simple? Should it be simple, or is it work?
I think love should be worked, but it should become simple. Everything that you do in life, no matter if it's love or you play sports or you're an entrepreneur, whatever it is that you in life, you have to work towards that. Why get the love and say I'm lazy now? Why get the love and say, oh, I just want it to fall in my lap the way I want it to? And no, it's going to take some work, but every year, every month, every day, every hour, it should get simpler. If it's not getting simple, you have to get in the mirror. And like I tell people, the mirror is not just to reflect what you see, it's to correct what you see. So you need to get in that mirror and start looking at yourself, not the love of your life. Focus in on what you're doing. And that makes you a true leader when it comes to love or anything else in life. So that's what I would say about that. I'm even throw this in there.
Okay.
Love is an outfit that should never come off. I think love is an outfit that should stay on you 24/7 every day of your life. And the reason why I say that because it's different type of love. It's brotherly love. And I think we got to have that brotherly love for everybody. Right. No matter what gender, color, race, whatever it is, you should be showing love. So that outfit shouldn't come off. But you know what I found out? In today's society, we change outfits based on how we feel. So if I feel this way about him or her, I'm going to change my outfit of love, which means I'm going to treat them different. I'm going to act this way towards them. So you have to learn to keep that outfit of love, true love, on 24/7. And when you do that, that means you'll be learning how to make things match in that outfit. So you may not be matching at first, but you got the outfit on. You see what I'm saying? You digging?
Right, I got you.
You picking up what I'm putting down?
I'm
just saying.
I just love it.
Okay, you just love it.
Yeah, I love it.
So that's what I'm saying, you guys. You can't change outfits of love just based on how you feel or how somebody treats you. The real test is when somebody do you wrong, or you hear somebody talking about you. And I'm going a little to the right with this. The big question is, how will you treat them back? And that's called unconditional love. That's true. And if you don't have unconditional love, I can promise you, you're not going to go very far. Right. I'm talking about in being successful in building long-lasting relationships. Right. I got a lot of relationships that I built over the years that I still have. Why? Because I do my best to try to learn and keep that outfit on of love no matter what happens between us. Absolutely. I'm not saying problems won't occur, but it's up to you to take the eraser and keep correcting and keep erasing until it comes out smooth. You got some more questions?
Gosh,
Right?
I'm just loving it right now. I have another one.
Okay.
Other question I have for you. Now, I've got an Instagram follower, and her name is BeingFab74.
Being fab.
Yes, Being Fab. So her question to you is there such thing as loving more than one person at one time?
Loving more, man.
Multiple.
That's kind of hard work, man. It's like
Right?
it's like you're doing
Isn't it
you
hard?
working 24/7, ain't going to sleep, and man, that's a lot of stuff going on.
That's a lot of loving.
That's a lot of loving. I don't know, but no, I think it's a possibility. But once again, you got to ask yourself why. Why are you feeling like that? Are you loving this person because you're missing that yourself, and you love that person, and you're missing something else, so you love the other person? So now you find yourself loving two people, but it's only because you're missing pieces that you haven't fixed yet. So all they doing is helping you and catering to you on your weakness. Wow. And once again, it's a crutch. It's crippling you from being 100% locked into wearing your outfit of love. So my thing to you, yeah, you can love 2 or 3 people. That means you got 2 or 3 problems with yourself that you ain't fixed yet.
It's so true.
So you're going to be running around here with about 5 people. So I'm trying to tell you, if that's the case, it's not about them, because they're going to take what you give them probably.
Right.
It's about you. Getting in the mirror again. Finding out what you need to fix about yourself. Finding out your weakness when it comes to love. Finding out what you're lacking. Right. It's just like playing football. You know, I played in the NFL, and I was with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I will always watch film to see what my weakness is, because I didn't want the opposite team to know, because now they can kind of destroy me in a sense and beat me in my game.
Right. Then
I won't shine.
Right.
Well, in love, you're not shining because you're not looking at film on yourself to find out what's wrong with me. Right. And it ain't nothing bad, you know, that when you say what's wrong with me, it's just you being real with yourself. And a lot of people don't like to be real.
Oh,
they like other people to cover it up for them, and then they make excuses. That's just what I'm saying. That's just a little nugget right there.
Yeah, sounds pretty good. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about this one? Can you, say, in a relationship with somebody for 10, 15 years.
Right.
You guys break up, sour breakup.
Okay.
You get with somebody else, completely happy, totally different relationship. This person you were in a relationship for 10, 15 years, can you be their friend?
Man, I get these questions, and I'm telling you, listen, if you're not in a relationship yourself, in my opinion, it's okay to be their friend. But once you get in a relationship, everything, that's what I said, sacrifice, changes, that's what real love calls you to do. The question is, will you do it though? I wouldn't be in a relationship and still have somebody as my ex as a friend. I just wouldn't. Why would you put that pressure on yourself? Why would you make yourself vulnerable? Right. No matter what you try to say in your head, you got to remember your heart was with them once before.
Come on, somebody.
So if your heart was with them, don't try to boost your head up to say nothing ain't gonna happen. Because I'm telling you, the opposite person that you're with, they're thinking something too. Like, why they still want to talk to this person if it's really over?
Right.
So it's not over if you're still talking to them.
Absolutely.
Friends or not.
Yep.
That's how I see it.
I agree.
So let them go. That's what I'm saying. Let them go, or you miss out on real love.
Absolutely. Well, we're tapped out of our questions.
Well, you know, I'm gonna jump into this. You know, I see a lot of. Let's get on the men. Let's talk about the men.
Okay. All right.
Talk about the men, okay? Because I'm gonna hit y'all up later. I'm getting you. The men. A lot of men look at women and say, okay, I like the size, I like how they dress, I like their hair length, I like their color, or whatever the case may be. I see a lot of men say that that's love and that's how I'm gonna find out who I wanna be with. But in my opinion, that's not love, that's lust. Right. So what do you think about that, Kay? I'm gonna ask you some questions. What do you think about men of how they examine what love is and how they pick somebody to be with?
I just think we all have an unrealistic expectation of what love is. I think we watch too many Disney movies. I think we think that life should be, oh, it's happily ever after. When we don't see in that movie when they had a serious situation happen, that happens in real life. I think, you know, men are visual. men like what they see,
Yeah.
you know, and it might be 1, 2, 3, because we're in Atlanta. How many, what's the ratio of women to men here?
I don't know. Don't be
You
putting me on the
know,
spot.
Frank.
There's a lot of women here, I can say that. But I'm from Florida, so, you know, it's a lot of women there, and it's hot all the time. Let's close. I'm just saying. So if men visual, you go to Florida, you can hit the LA, the weather always good.
Right, but I think people should really take a step back. You know, you need to really think about this because, you know, a lot of times you put people's feelings and relationship, their emotions in the balance. You know, I find that a lot of people, a lot of men, per se, you know, back in the day, I asked you, Frank, back in the day when you were with the ladies, did you ever have more than one at one time?
I like you say back in the day to try to put me back there so
you know,
to let y'all know
yeah.
I don't do that or
You
whatever.
changed.
But no, I think, yeah, of course, I had plenty of ladies. That's just what happened.
But did you ever tell them that you loved them when you know that you didn't?
Man,
Oh.
hey, see, ladies, don't be mad at me.
Oh.
Don't be mad at me.
Oh.
That's back in the day. But I think at some point in my life, I would say whatever and do whatever to try to influence that lady to talk with me,
Right.
to communicate with me and see what we can do and to go to the next level. So I think, and we call that game.
Oh, okay.
So that's what it's called. Everybody know that. So yeah, I ran some game, and I regret some of that, you know, because I didn't understand
Right.
that running game could actually hurt somebody else.
Absolutely.
You know, I didn't see it like that. I just was thinking about I'm gonna get me. It's about me, and that's called pride. And eventually you fall, and you know when you got pride, eventually you fall, and you hopefully skin your knee and learn and pick yourself back up. And that's what I had to do. So to answer your question, yes, I did, but I regret doing it. You know, because I found out that you can really hurt other people. So
Absolutely. You learn from it.
yeah, I learned.
Good. Okay. What
That's
you
why.
got?
That's why I'm straight up. I'm straight up. Now. I just tell, hey, this what it is. This what it's gonna be. I
Right.
put it all on the table. So now it's people choice,
Communication.
communication. You're right.
Sounds good.
Once you connect with true love, you will know it's not just a feeling.
Yeah.
Because if everything was just a feeling,
Yeah.
you would be in and out of love every doggone day with that person.
Right.
So you got to put in your head, I'm gonna connect with them, not with my feelings.
Right.
Don't connect with your feelings. You know what I'm saying? Connect with what you know.
Right.
And if you don't know nothing, then it's gonna be hard to connect. So that means self-discipline,
Right.
self-awareness, and learn what you need to do.
Right.
You know, I even might as well, I want to throw a little hint out there for the next show. The next show we'll be talking about guns in our society. Think about that.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff going on in our society that's relating to guns. So that's going to be a hot topic. So I just want to talk about that and let y'all know what was coming on next. Kay, do you have any more questions for me? At least one more. Dig deep and give me one more for the people.
Deep. Okay. Since the topic of the question is, how do you know what real love looks like, right? Frank, in your life and in your past experience, how were you able to figure out what real love actually was? And for those of us and those of them in the audience that are looking for real love, how do they first identify what that real love is?
What real love? How do they identify? I think it's called spend time. Patient. Patient is a word that means perfecting something along the way. But if you don't have patience, you'll jump into stuff. And when you jump in fast, you'll probably be jumping right back out fast.
Right.
So if you're patient and really let that person expose who they really are and you expose who you really are, I think that's always the key. And a lot of people don't be patient. And to go ahead and back that up, I ain't forget you ladies, because I know y'all fall in love with the titles
That's
instead of the person.
Right.
I see a lot of people fall in love with the titles, and the
Right.
titles mean the guy that got the jewelry, or the guy that got the big car, or Rolls Royce, you know, and those things like that, the Bentley. You fall in love with that, the house. Well, okay, I'm gonna hit you with this. Why is that? Why do women fall in love with those things? How can we help them?
You know what? I think in today's society, a lot of women just want to be kept. And I think a women want to be kept, but they don't know what being kept means.
Right.
You know, a lot of, when it comes to men with those titles, when it comes to being kept means there are certain rules that you must follow. You may not be the only one. And a
Right.
lot of women don't understand that. And if they do understand that, then they're just open because they don't want to go out and they don't want to come to work every day. And I hate to say that because I'm pro-woman. I'm a woman first.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I've seen lots of women who just want that dollar bill and they'll do anything that they have to do in order to get it. Even if that means that, hey, I'm just going to fake the love.
Man, fake love.
Isn't that awful?
Fake love.
It's awful.
So you're saying at the end of the day, there's a lot of people that don't want to know what love is really.
No.
They want to know what that dollar look like.
Absolutely. And you think about it like this. Say you're a woman, you've been hurt 55 million times.
Right.
Right? You meet this guy, he has a title, and he's going to be able to give me all these things that the person that I wanted to give them to give me to couldn't.
That's good.
You know? So I'll use him up. Use him. Use him until he's done.
So
because that's what they did to me.
Oh, that's good. So how do a man, before we close, how should he know? How will he know?
Well, I think it goes back to what you said and knowing who you are. I think once you know who you are and what you come from, I don't think there's too many people that'll be able to pull the rules over you.
Well, you know what? I can attest to that because, you know, I feel like in my situations, I feel like
Absolutely.
I made bad decisions on who I chose, you know, in my past. But it all made me a better man. You know, it gave me experience. It gave me opportunity to be prepared for the next time. And I don't hold that against nobody. I always look myself first and say, what could Frank do better? Not what somebody else could do better. And that's called accountability.
Absolutely.
So when you go out in this world, have accountability. Make sure accountability is at the top of your list. And I'm gonna leave this with you before we close. Don't put somebody in a position they don't deserve to be in. Don't put nobody on the top shelf if they ain't show you top shelf price.
That's true.
Don't do that, because then you find yourself in a bad position, especially when it comes to love. Well, I'm gonna get up out of here, Kay.
Yeah.
This your boy Frank D. Murphy. I'm hanging out with my girl Kay. We'll see you next time on the next show, AKA Murph Time. Gone.
Used to play for the Buccaneers, now I'm head coach. I got young minds that'll lift up and they flying coach.